my coffee. Excuse me, really? But there's a ukulele in my coffee, I do declare. Cause it's breakfast with Bob.
And Poncho Man, everybody. Yeah. Welcome to day 4, Breakfast with Bob, our Kona World Championship edition from beautiful Huggo's on the Rocks. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by HOKA, Fly Human Fly, Master Spas, Precision Fuel and Hydration, Crush Your Race Nutrition, Deboer, Outrigger, Kona Resort and Spa, stay longer, save more. Our Challenge Athletes Foundation, our next guest, 3-time Ironman World Champion. Give it up for Mirinda Carfrae. We've done this before.
A couple of times.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, yeah.
It's sort of fun not to be racing, right?
Not to be racing, and I was just thinking about it, and I've not been to Kona ever without either a race or a tiny baby or a big pregnant belly. So I am like free to do a lot of cool things.
Having really fun.
Yeah.
You're coming to the party tomorrow night.
Yeah, yes, I can come to the party, yep. And there's no little ones waiting for me back at the hotel, so that's nice too.
That is so fun.
Yeah.
So talk a little about the first time you came here, because you qualified at 70.3 Worlds by winning that, and then came, I don't think you came the next year, but the following year after that, and getting second place, first time out. Did you surprise yourself?
I don't know if surprise is the right word. I spent 10 years like knowing that I wanted to do this race.
Yeah.
Well, in the sport, I guess, probably a few years into the sport, finding this race and realizing that this is what I wanted to do. And I didn't want to go and just participate. I wanted to go and compete. So I waited, and 2009 felt like the right time. I felt like, 29 years old. I feel like I'm physically strong enough to race the distance.
Yep.
But that being said, I'd never done an Ironman. And I'd done 3/4 distance, but yeah, on this island's a different beast as well. So yeah, that first year, 2009, obviously going up against Chrissy Wellington, who had won in 7, had won in 8, and
yep.
It really reset the boundaries. I'm like, the boundaries were a little bit less when I was planning to come. So the goal was to come and win, but then Chrissy threw a spanner in that wrench. But yeah, I mean, I expected to be in the top, or I hoped to be in the top. I trained to be in the top, but you don't know until you know.
So early on, when you got into the sport, were you thinking Olympics? Were you thinking the Olympic format?
Yeah, that's all I knew. So when I learned about triathlon in around 99, that was Olympics.
Olympics was coming to Sydney in 2000,
and the triathlon was
just
going to be
launching
in the Olympics
for the first time. Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely, that was my first goal, to go to the Olympics for my country. And then I realized my country was very, very strong, and I was, over the years, like, tough to get to make an Australian team, at any Australian team, in triathlon back in those days, and it's still in these days, of course. But I kind of also started to realize my strengths lay in the longer training.
Yes.
And I didn't break down, and I can back up training day after day, and it sort of just, I think there were just signs in training that sort of told me that long course might be a better vehicle for you in this sport, and also my lack of swimming ability was also a problem for ITU racing.
Well, I love the fact that you went through this athletic journey, starting out with, I'm 5'0", I'll be a basketball player, right? I'll be a basketball player. Then going into short course and realizing these guys are so far ahead at the swim, I better find long course. I got all this time to make up with the bike and the run, and this really, really suits me. So in 2010, obviously, Chrissy Wellington, overwhelming favorite. She's won 3 years in a row, every year by increasing margins. Coming to 2010, and there's Chrissy's bike, but there's no Chrissy.
Yeah, so I was chatting about this with somebody last night, and 2010, I'd spent the whole year. I got second to Chrissy in 2009, 2010, visualizing every moment of that race, every single different scenario, how I was going to beat Chrissy or how I was going to try to beat Chrissy. Come race morning, she's on the island, her bike is racked next to mine. She wasn't there in the morning, and I was like, oh, that's weird, she's late to transition. Got my bike sorted out, went back to behind the King Kamehameha hotel pool, sitting with my coach, and then the loudspeaker comes, Chrissy Wellington has withdrawn from the race. And that was like what? Like my now husband Tim was sitting with me, and he said I just went white. Looked like I'd seen a ghost.
Right.
And then of course Siri was there, and she's like, nothing changes. You race your race. You know what to do. You've done the training. But it felt like all of that pressure that was sort of on Chrissy. I mean, I had my own pressure, was now all on me because I was second last year, and now the defending champion was not racing. So it was kind of like, don't mess this up.
Right.
But I had like an out of body experience that day. I swam with the front pack. Never did that before. Never did that again. And so that day was just like the perfect day. Everything just came together really nicely, and I got to run down Elite Drive in first place. It was magical.
The coolest thing. And after that, because it doesn't happen very often, you've got the defending champion coming back in 2011 and a 3-time champion, right? So now the women's race was showcased. That was it. It's about Mirinda against Chrissy, defending champion, 3-time champion. That was very exciting.
Yeah, that year was incredibly exciting. Obviously, Chrissy crashed her bike leading into that race as well. Had a very bad crash. I was in great shape, good shape. I feel like I didn't prepare as well as I could have. After winning in 2010, I took probably too many opportunities that came with being a world champion, and don't think I managed it as well as I could have, and didn't have my training be the most important thing. And I think so I had a little bit of a chink in my armor, but nonetheless Chrissy had a much bigger chink when she crashed, and it was a terrible crash. They advised her not to race, but of course Chrissy being Chrissy wouldn't take no for an answer. She came out, and it was a close race in the end.
2 minutes.
Yeah,
it was 2 minutes. But the thing is, when you win, you know all these people who've been with you the whole time, these sponsors. So at that point, when you win, you're going, oh, I need this payback time. They've been with me through thick and thin. If they want me to come, I'm going to come. It sacrifices a little bit of training, but you were taking care of people. Yeah,
actually, I didn't have that many sponsors. So 2009, getting second, certainly all of a sudden it was completely different to the 70.3 World Champs. I had a few good sponsors. You come here and perform in Kona, it was a whole new world. And so some good sponsors most of my sponsors were new from 2009. 2010, you win a world title, opportunities, new sponsors, photo shoots, people inviting you to their tri club and giving you money to speak at the tri club. I'm going to do it all.
Of course.
And I guess sitting here now, I kind of regret it because I got to win more world titles. But in the moment, I'm like, you're never going to know if you're going to get this opportunity again.
Absolutely.
So I sort of took everything. I thought it was the best choice in the time, but looking back, I wish I just focused on training.
But you don't know. And the deal is, in 2011, like you said, Chrissy was compromised, and she gutted it. Right, she was a mess. Yeah. But she had dropped out the year before.
Yes.
And there was no way she's going to drop out 2 years in a row.
And we didn't know, but that was her last year.
That's the thing.
As well.
So she ends up winning by 2 minutes.
Yep.
And I'm sure you're thinking, okay, we had the rematch. She got it. 2012, it's going to be my year. I'm taking her down. And that's motivation for training.
Yeah.
Then when did she announce her retirement?
I think later that year or early. I think it was not that long after. And so, it was kind of like, wait, what?
That takes air out of the bubble because you're competitive.
Yeah.
You want to take her down.
Yes.
And now you lose motivation then. When you don't have that target, it's hard.
Yeah. I think it was just, it was disconcerting, right? Having that rivalry was kind of building. And
yes.
And I feel like
sport.
I wasn't at my peak in this distance yet. I was still learning. I was still trying to figure out how to race an Ironman. And Chrissy is still above, a head and shoulders above the rest of us. And obviously we didn't know. That's why I think she gutted it out so much that year. I mean, she went to beyond the well, and I'm sure she knew this is the last time I'm doing this preparation. This is the last time I'm doing this race. And initially we didn't know if she was just taking a year off.
Right.
It turned out to be the end of her racing career here, but still I got to race one of the greatest of all time, and go toe to toe a couple of years. And I just wish, like anything, you wish all the greats could come here in their best form and race and see what happens, but that's just not how it works.
Well, and so 2012, now you're sort of the favorite because Chrissy's not racing
again.
Yeah, and Leanda wins.
Yes.
So now it's okay. I had to go back to the drawing board, and I think 2012, Siri was not your coach. Siri back as your coach for 2013, and now did Siri approach and say, hey, because at that point she's coaching Leanda, and you want to go back and work with Siri, and was it that would have been difficult?
Yeah, I think it wasn't. So Siri actually moved back to Boulder, and I was living in Boulder. I moved away from Siri in the end of 11 or beginning of 2012. Started work. Just wanted to try some different things, and of course that year in 12, I lost my nutrition and cramped, and that was kind of a disaster. Run my slowest ever marathon here in Kona, I think, and yeah, so that was kind of a disaster year. And then I just didn't feel like I loved it as much, and the journey wasn't the same without Siri.
She's so enthusiastic.
And
just the best.
I don't know, we just had such a great partnership. And so I actually approached her, and I'm like, hey, I know, you have Leander, you have the current world champion, but would you consider coaching me again? And she was like, I would absolutely love to. So yeah, we just started working again, and we fell straight back into our old, selves. And 2013 was a wonderful year from that moment onwards.
Yeah, and then 2014, there's a new person.
Yes.
There's a new Chrissy called Daniela Reef.
Yes.
She comes in and fresh off 70.3 Worlds, which she dominated there. And she comes here, and I remember I was sitting with her like here, and she's like, does a run go here? She knew nothing about this thing.
No.
She came over on Wednesday of race week and was like, oh, I'm on a Hawaiian holiday. This is fun. And you're hearing splits on her on the bike. What was the biggest split you heard? Was it like 13 minutes or something?
Yeah, over 14 minutes off the bike. So, yeah, I mean, we knew she was coming. We could feel that heat in the 70.3 distance, and she was just on another level there. And she had raced an Ironman, so it wasn't her first.
Switzerland, yep.
And her performance was phenomenal. So, yeah, we knew it was coming. But, yeah, I mean, it was a big performance that day, and a big ask. But, yeah, I mean, it worked out.
when you've got 14 minutes and you're like, you weren't that far at that point out of, you passed a few people right away, and all of a sudden you're top 10, you're there. But is it tough? Little thing on your shoulder going, you've won this, you've won it twice, you don't really need this. Condo's right there.
Yeah.
Was it hard to stay in it?
It was. I maybe for the first mile and a half, I felt like a failure. I was 8th off the bike, 14 minutes down from a rookie, and I was the defending champion. So yeah, I was like, what? Like, this is embarrassing. And then I thought, you know what? I'm here. I've done the training. It would be disrespectful to do anything but give my best.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm just going to see how fast I can run. And I started picking off women, and before I knew it, it took me a while, but on the Queen K, I think I was in 3rd place, and then I was chasing down Rachel, and then I got Rachel, and then I look up the road and I could see the motorcade of Daniela, and I'm like, this is a possibility that I could, of course, Daniela being her first time here in Kona, the wheels were falling off, thankfully for me, but yeah, I could see her up ahead, and yeah, that became the number one and only thing that mattered in my world. And yeah, was able to catch up, of course. Yeah.
Well, and having a race like that becomes your final Ironman win, Ironman World Championship win. Just having that type of memory to go out on, right? It's something you can always look back. Finally, it's like, I made up one of the biggest deficits in the history of the sport, and had this, and to win my 3rd and final Ironman World Championship title. Yeah,
I mean, you look back on your career and you look at races that, you feel like you should have won, or you made a mistake and could have, should have, whatever. But that day, things came together for me, and yeah, it's certainly a great memory.
I love it. Mirinda, thank you so much for taking time. Always such a treat to get to chat with you. And you'll be working on a TV show?
TV show? Yes. You mean the commentary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Commentary for us.
I'll be doing the commentary this weekend, and we have Salty Bears Racing if anyone wants to. We coach, and we have a racing team, so check us out, saltybearsracing.com.
saltybearsracing.com. Poncho Man, take us out, my friend.
There's a ukulele in my coffee, excuse me, waiter. There's a ukulele in my coffee, I do declare, 'cause it's breakfast with Bob and Vinny.
Poncho Man, everybody!